This is a download from Rutland Radio.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the Rutland Radio podcast from rutlandradio.co.uk. This is where you can hear the best bits from the last week. Well, a new name you may well have seen in Stamford at the Christmas Festival is Counterpoint, who are essentially I suppose, acquiring a lot more, Aidan McGarry.
Yes, well, we came from the Corn Exchange, and we're now branching out on our own to do work just for charities and singing in the community. So we're very happy to go around and sing in village halls and other organisations and so on as required. But we're doing, well, firstly, we're going to sing at the festival very shortly. But then we have a concert coming up at Barnhill Methodist Church on Saturday, the 8th of December at 7:30 in the hall, in the church. And the cost for those, for the tickets for that, are £7 per ticket, or a family of four can get in for £20, which I think is very reasonable. And we'll be singing a lot of Christmassy stuff, really getting people in the mood for Christmas. We'll have songs from musicals that are Christmassy, other Christmassy songs as well. So hopefully there'll be something for everyone to enjoy.
And they're backed by you and a full band?
Yes, me and a full band. There'll be John Smith, Peter Nelms, and we have a drummer coming as well called Andy. And so it's all live music, no backing tracks, but it's all live band in a lovely church, very comfortable to sit in. And so we're hoping that as many people come as possible. We're handing out leaflets, but tickets won't be available in advance. You just turn up at the door and you pay to get in, simple as that.
And it's £7 to get in?
£7 per ticket, but a family of four can get in for £20.
Fabulous stuff. So literally the second Saturday in December.
That's it, the 8th of December. Yeah,
excellent.
Right.
Look forward to seeing Counterpoint then. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.
The weekly Rutland Radio podcast.
Wonderful. Wasn't sure about how the weather was going to be, but it blessed us with the sunshine and the dry. So lots of people in the town hall with the vintage fair. Wonderful. And so nice to see all these people.
How has it been hosting Amorous today? Because that's been part of her prize, hasn't it? Back from the Stamford Spooktacular when you judged her pumpkin to be the very best.
Well, she's been busy signing the book to say that she's a visitor, and along with her friends, we've had things to eat, laughs, photographs. Super time.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there it is! Merry Christmas, Stamford! How was that for you?
Good.
Now, just before you go, have you had a word with the man as to what you might like for Christmas? Have you any ideas?
Yeah, a bike.
A bike? Wow. You never know. If he has a bike spare that he can give to you, I'm sure he will.
Rutland Radio.
Ruby. Donna. Daniel. Freddie. Sophia.
And
Miss Wilkinson.
the first Platinum Awards school in Rutland. What exactly does that mean?
It means we won gold awards for 5 years running.
So, gold awards in what different sports?
It's not only the sports that you win, it's your input into sports across the school, getting children active and making it sustainable all the way from your early years cohort up to your year 6 cohort. And there's various different criteria. You can have bronze, silver, gold, and then your platinum. Your gold you have to achieve for those 5 years before you're eligible to achieve your platinum award as well.
Now, as sports leaders, what do you get up to?
We run a club on Monday and Friday for reception, year 1 and year 2.
What sort of things do you get up to then in that?
We do like all kinds of sports, and some people have like groups of children.
How does it feel actually having that award just there?
It felt very good because we're quite a small school in Rutland, and it's a very big achievement that we've done.
You got presented it in assembly, so you didn't know it was coming?
No.
And what was that like this morning?
Very exciting, and I bet we were all happy.
What does that mean, though, in terms of recognition for the school? Because, you know, as children have just said, you're doing extraordinarily well for such a small school.
Yeah, it sets a legacy for us to carry on, really. I mean, we've done really well to have the gold, which is great. There's, I think, 14 schools in Rutland have got that. Brilliant. But to be the first school to achieve platinum and to be top of both league tables last year was such an amazing achievement for not only our children but all the staff and the parents that are putting in all that extra work after school, before school, to just help these children be as active as they can, and they're all achieving so highly as well. It's just amazing.
Is that the bell?
Doorbell.
Yeah, interesting. Nearly got the last bit. Just got that as well. So, yes, You were saying, yeah, I mean, it's not just during the school day, and it's not just the staff and the children here, the parents help too?
Yeah, they help with transporting the children. We've got parents that help with various clubs. For example, last night we took a Year 5 and 6 to the Sports Hall Athletics. That's till 6:30 at night, and without that dedication of our parents and our guardians and all our staff, we wouldn't be able to achieve all the things that we do. We wouldn't have achieved all our 13 trophies last year, and it's just such a whole school approach. It's just wonderful to be part of.
Rutland Radio's best bits on the podcast.
Well, we've been here at the Fat Stock Show watching the day unfolding, as has Ron Simpson from First Light this morning. Now, Ron, you're here just managing the webcam, and actually I know you'll be out later giving a flavour of this incredible traditional day, but it provides such a service, doesn't it, the webcam?
Yes, over the years we've built up quite a following, I think, both at home and abroad. Locally, for example, some of the care homes and people who, for whatever reason, can't get out are able to watch the thing live on their computers and smartphones. And abroad, we get farmers from south of England, from Australia, from Canada. We've had various contacts and emails saying that people do look in and appreciate the opportunity to see the animals. So I'm a sort of trainee cameraman. I'm learning to zoom in on the right animals as I learn a little more each year. But it's quite a spectacle, and it's quite a nice thing to do.
And people can find this on the Uppingham First website?
Yes, uppinghamfirst.co.uk, and you'll see the webcam in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Click on that, and then you'll pick up the live broadcast.
And the quality, actually, I mean, you know, it's you can see people going a bit frame by frame, but the quality is really fab, and it's in colour, and you can virtually see everything.
Yes, at the moment it's running on a copper line, so that limits the quality output. It's surprisingly good, and particularly when you zoom in on the various animals and what's going on, you get really quite a high quality picture. Given that, I mean, the capital cost of the camera is less than £2,000. It's amazing what you can get these days in terms of technology. It took quite a lot to set it up, because obviously in this day of data regulation and so on, we had quite a long conversation with the Information Commissioner. So we do record for security purposes in the town. It's protecting the town centre, but there are quite strict limits on what we do, and it's one of the reasons we only broadcast between 9 o'clock in the morning and 6 at night normally, because it was felt that was a reasonable compromise in promoting the town, but not necessarily prying in what people are doing in the evening when they're in town and so on.
So you can see Uppingham live around the world every day and all morning for the Fat Stock Show via uppinghamfirst.co.uk.
Rutland Radio.
Thank you, Sire. I'm here with the Dale family who have won at Fat Stock. Your pigs, champion pigs.
They are, yeah. We couldn't be more proud. We got a first and a second and a champion with one. So yeah, we're over the moon.
And what does it take actually to get that? Obviously, some of it, I suppose, is luck of the draw, but there's so much work actually to come up to it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of fattening them up. It's a lot of getting them to show standard, preparing them yesterday, washing them, cleaning them, just generally like getting them ready for show condition sort of thing. But I have to confess, my sister Emma and her partner Roy have done all of the work. I have been in the background very much so this year, but it's all good fun. It's a family effort, so.
Well, it's a family farming, institution, aren't you?
Exactly,
really,
in local
Rutland.
family. Yeah, local family. So we have our herd, our fold of pedigree Highlands, which we haven't bought this year. The first year we haven't, but we've bought the babies instead. So the family has taken over this year.
And what does the Fat Stock mean to you as a family?
Oh, it's like it's the end of our showing season. It's my father was brought up in the little house in the corner of the market square. So I've been to the Fat Stock ever since I can remember, and I hope my children will for years to come, and I just hope it continues for a long time, because it's a great event to get all local people together.
And to get some prizes, some rosettes at the end of it. I mean,
it's just the icing on the cake, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. It's the best bit.
Thanks for joining us on Rutland Radio.
Oh, thank you so much.
Highlights from the past 7 days, the Rutland Radio podcast.
And most outstanding exhibit in the show this year is that really is the prize of prizes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really nice to win.
And tell us about what animal you actually won that for.
It was a Limousin cross beast, the best heifer it won originally, and it went on.
And how many times have you been here to Fat Stock in Uppingham?
4 now, I think, yeah.
What do you think it means to the local community still to have something like this, because it's so unusual now?
Yeah, I think it's nice. You see a lot of people coming to look at the animals and that, so. it's nice to keep it going.
Excellent stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Rutland Radio.
Yeah, so I'm with Charlie Mason, who's chairman of the Uppingham Fat Stock Show Committee. We're just looking out over the marketplace. All the pens have gone. The hay is about to be swept away, and that will be it for another year. But would you say that this is as successful as it's been in previous years?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the weather, as I hoped this morning, did hold off. We're about at a limit on sheep and pigs, and the prizes, rosettes and cups seem to be evenly distributed. We've had 3 or 4 new exhibitors walk away with silver and rosettes, which is really good. The only disappointing bit was the cattle numbers were low. We had 16 or 17 cattle entered, only 12 came forward. Problems affecting everybody really, TB regulations and restrictions, things like that. We have had for the last 4 years a native bull class, side by native bull, at the request of people who felt they couldn't compete against the commercial continental breeds. Unfortunately, the people that have asked for the class, with the exception of 1 or 2, have not supported it. So if any of you out there know people with cattle, beef cattle, side by native bulls, please encourage them to come to Uppingham Fat Stock Show, class number 5. We need to get a bit more support. Ideally, we would like 20 halter-led beasts in the marketplace. That would be ideal, every class competitive. Today we had the 2 steer classes, was only 1 in each class, so we had combined the class to make it a competition. But nevertheless, the new exhibitors all walked away with things. The weather held off. Nobody shouted at us. We kept the town running. It's, all in all, I think it's gone as well as it could have done.
It is a very local show, isn't it? You've got a lot of people from sort of Melton Way who are competing, Rutland, and it's that sort of radius, really, typically, that a lot of the people are actually from.
Well, the sheep and pigs certainly are coming probably from with a 25 to 30 mile radius. In the 1960s and 70s, most of the animals in the marketplace would be from with a 20 mile radius. The Welland Valley was full of sheep and cattle in those days. Sadly, that's not the case now. We've had cattle exhibitors now coming from Milton Keynes, Skegness, Spalding, but if that's what it takes to get the marketplace full of top quality halter-led cattle, let's go for it.
And prices today at the auction?
Prices apparently were very, very good. Yeah, everybody seemed very happy, above the weekly average, which is all you can ask for, really.
The weekly Rutland Radio podcast.
It's Rutland Radio at breakfast time. I'm Rob Pisani, and Rutland's very own Katie Marshall is giving a concert tomorrow night, actually, along with the Musical Village Choir. Fraser Graham will be on piano. It's an evening with you, Katie, and for a very special cause as well. Tell us firstly about that.
It's for Olivia's journey, and she's a very brave young girl who's only 5 years of age, and she's been struggling with a rare form of brain cancer for around 4 years now. She was diagnosed at only 16 months, so it's a very worthy cause, and the raffle at my concert will be raising funds for her and her family to have an amazing Christmas together, and I think it's something she really deserves because she's so brave.
Now, last time we met, your album was just out.
Yes.
Voice Divine.
Yes.
How have things been going with that?
It's been going really well, thank you. I've been selling lots and people seem to be really enjoying it and they like the song choices, so it's really lovely to hear people think of the album, and I'll be selling it at this concert and singing quite a few songs from it, so really exciting.
And you'll have quite a festive theme, presumably,
yes.
as it's so close to Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be joined by the Musical Village Choir, who have been on tour with Russell Watson, and I'm very lucky to have them at my concert because they're really busy, and they'll be doing quite a few festive songs, along with a very exciting African song, which I'm really excited for everyone to be able to hear. And I will be doing lots of Christmas songs as well, so it's really great opportunity for everyone to get in the festive mood, and I'm really excited for such a wonderful evening.
So what have you been up to since? Because you do seem to be sort of here, there and everywhere. You've sung with so many different people over the years, from G4 to... you must have met Russell Watson. You've met loads of people, weren't you, at the Classical Brits?
Yes,
you met some really famous people.
I was nominated for a Classic Brit Award this year, so it's really exciting, such an honour for me to go and be present at the Classic Brit Awards. It was an amazing evening. And I met Ala Jones, who I performed with before, at Sponsor Stars, which is a charity for impoverished children in the UK. So I met lots of people there. And I've been perform in quite a few places this year. Rochester Cathedral for Abigail's Footsteps, which is a stillborn charity, with Jonathan Ansell from G4. That was duetting lots of Queen songs. So it was a really amazing evening, and especially poignant when Montserrat Caballé had just died. And I also performed for the Rotary International Conference with the Kent Symphonia Orchestra, who actually I recorded with on my album. So lots of exciting events, and I'm really busy over the Christmas period as well.
And it all started in Rutland. This is the incredible thing. You're still very much in the county,
yes.
and doing all these incredible things. That do you mind me asking? Because I know your birthday soon.
Yes.
Because I remember that every year as we performed once on birthday night at
yes.
Oakham. But yes, what? How old are you now?
I'm 17. I'll be turning 18 on the 8th of December. So I'm performing in London over that period as well with Battersea Cats and Dogs Home Christmas Concert, NSIF, which is spinal injury, and Hopes and Homes for Children. I've got lots of Christmas concerts lined up, but it was really important to me to have this concert on the 30th, which I think will be an amazing evening, and lots of local businesses have given raffle prizes, which I'm really grateful for, such as Cavil's and Simon Cawthorne's Hairdressers. So it was really important for me to do local concerts as well, because I really enjoy it.
Excellent. We can't wait to see you tomorrow night. All Saints Church in Oakham. So it's £12, £10 concessions and £7 for students.
And that includes refreshments and food and drink in the interval as well.
And it's oakhamconcerts.info, or you can pay on the door. And Katie, lovely to see you. Have a lovely Christmas.
You too. Thank you. You too.
And we must actually, talking of Aled Jones, there's a certain song, isn't there?
There is, yes.
That happens to be on your album.
Yes.
That is famous for him having originally performed.
Yeah.
He's heard your version, I guess.
Yes, he has. He said he really enjoyed it, and I told him how I've loved that song for so many years, and it's really just a classic Christmas song. I think everyone recognises it and puts you in the Christmas mood, so I had to include it. It's always been one of my favourites, Walking in the Air.
Rutland Radio.
First of all, could you tell me your name and how old you are?
I'm Sam and I'm 8 years old.
Tell us what happened last Friday that you had to be involved with. Paint the picture.
My mum was choking and I saved her life.
That's quite a huge thing for an 8-year-old to do. What exactly happened then? What did you need to do?
I needed to kind of hardly push her chest down.
You actually needed to do a compression on her chest, because you learnt at the Rutland show, didn't you, last year? How it all works, how people actually save people's lives.
Yeah, I did. So there was a woman on the floor without any arms or any legs. And it was my granny's tent, and that's how I learned it from.
Your granny is one of the first responders in Rutland, and she basically showed you how to do this, and you had to do it for real.
Yes.
So how does that feel looking back on it now?
I feel kind of happy.
Was there anyone else around that could help you last week?
Yes, but they didn't help, though.
Did they not know what to do?
No, they didn't.
So what made you step forward and just think, I know what to do, let's get on with it?
I didn't want her to die, so I tried and saved her, and then I remembered something, and then I just straight away did it.
And how's your mum doing now?
She's not in hospital or anything. She's okay.
She's able to look after you now?
Yes, she's able to look after me now.
Has she said anything to you about what happened on that day?
Nothing much, but she said, "Thanks for saving me, Sam."
That says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is amazing to think what you've done. Well done.
Thank you.
And we have Granny with us in the studio, known to many as Barbara Crellin. How do you feel, actually, hearing that now and hearing Sam actually recounting what you know happened?
A bit choked, really. I'm so proud of him, and so is his mum. She's too shy to come on the radio, but I agreed to have a word with you, Rob, because I just feel how important it is that doesn't matter how little they are, how small they are, a little bit of knowledge can help in what could be a very serious situation. And all I really want to say is how proud I am of Sam, but also to let the public out there know that the responders are quite happy to come and talk to groups, to demonstrate CPR, basic life support, because, OK, Lindsay's problem wasn't a cardiac arrest or anything. She simply couldn't get her breath and was beginning to wobble a bit. And Sam just stepped up with the knowledge he had. It was great.
Rutland Radio's Best Bits on the podcast.
OK, my name is Marie McGranahan. I'm team manager for rehabilitation and recovery services which is in adult mental health, which is part of Leicestershire Partnership NHS Trust.
And tell us about the Celebrating Carers event. What's going to happen today?
Okay, tomorrow it's a very big day. We've got Celebrating Carers, which is to mark the Carers' Rights Day. So we're going to have a fun full-pack day, which is going to be held at the Brookes Mental Health Unit in the Involvement Centre and the Recreational Room. And it'll start at 10 a.m. and finish at 3. We've got really excellent range of stalls that will be there to offer information and advice, ranging from, we've got First Contact Plus, we've got Carers Centre, we've got LAMP Carers Advice, we've got a whole range of services there to meet the public, to meet staff and talk about what services they offer for carers, for people with mental health problems and learning disabilities. As well as that, we've got the event will be opened by our Chief Exec, Mr. Peter Miller, which is great. He's going to be opening the event with myself. And we're also getting Councillor Ross Grant, who will be coming along to support us and giving his speech. And we've got some guest speakers. We have the Chair of the County Council, which is Ozzy O'Shea, and we have a short play. And to end the day, which is great, we've got the De Montfort University Gospel Choir, which will be ending the day for us. And so it's going to be a really, really busy, fun-packed day, and we've got some lovely refreshments and free lunch for everybody. So it's to people to pop in, call in, meet and greet, great networking opportunity for everybody, really.
And tell us about the Bradgate Mental Health Unit and who it helps, because you're all the way over in Leicester, which sometimes seems a million miles away from us in Rutland, but you do actually help people from Rutland who are mentally poorly.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, the Bradgate Mental Health Unit is obviously at the heart of services. People that come to the Bradgate Mental Health Unit, we look after people and support them from all areas of Leicestershire and Rutland, really. It is a fantastic place, and we want to promote positively the Bradgate Mental Health Unit to come in and meet the staff and find out more about what we offer. And to sort of, if there are any misconceptions or taboos, or it is a mental health service, but it's a very welcoming and warm, friendly place to come along. Actually, particularly the Involvement Centre, which sits in the reception area of the Bradgate Mental Health Unit. So yeah, we serve the whole community, and a lot of people do still come to the centre who live in the community, and we're part of a big team that work at the hospital, a large team of people that really do work closely together. So I think anybody that comes to us tomorrow, they'll feel that it'll be a positive experience. And as I said, it's open to everybody in Leicestershire to pop in and to find out more in terms of what we can offer and how we can support them.
And you're celebrating the role of carers of people with mental illness let me say that again. Mental illness and learning disabilities. Yeah. Now, that in itself, actually, as a caring role, can be quite tough and very up and down in the same way that maybe those with mental conditions actually, are dealing with life. I mean, you kind of ride that road with them.
Mm. Yeah, you do, and it's a 24-hour round-the-clock responsibility. And I guess for carers, sometimes they feel that they know the services out there, but sometimes they find it hard to navigate to where they are. They may have been told of one or two services. They can hear that through different routes, through word of mouth, through the GP. But I think what today is about is, first of all, bringing a range of services together, so that we can actually show carers that there is such a lot out there. And it's about pulling all those services together and for them to come and have a walk round in a nice environment and to learn and talk to people and hopefully get some information that is really vital. And also, I think it's an opportunity to say thank you, and it's about recognising their role and acknowledging what they do. And I think the spirit and the atmosphere that will be generated tomorrow will actually, allow carers to see that there are a lot of people out there to support them and understand. And this is about us working together, so it's supporting carers, but it's also, I guess, it's also about how we can work together to provide better services for their loved ones and also to look after them. This is about looking after their well-being as well. So I'm hoping that if you're a carer and you come tomorrow, that, you know, you're really going to get a lot out of our day, that what we're providing for them. So, yeah, and I'm interested to talk to carers. You know, carers that come along, I'm going to be, you know, here, ready to talk to people, offer them, you know, some support and show them where to go for advice. You know, there's going to be like 21 stands of different services. So, and so lots of people to be there for them to talk to, and hopefully they'll walk away with information and feeling, actually, there's a lot of people out there that want to support them.
And they can come at any time between 10 and 3? Yeah,
sure. Any time, and if they just want to drop in for 10 minutes, or they can stay the whole day. You know, there's refreshments and lunch. We held a similar event last year called based on recovery and mental health, and we had over 200 people coming in and out. Yeah, it's a great atmosphere, very kind of caring, supporting atmosphere with lots of information. So it's entirely up to the individual. Literally, quick, they can pop in, or they're welcome to stay the whole day.
Marie McGranahan, thank you very much for joining us on Rutland Radio today. Really appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
And have a good day as well. Thank you very much for being on.
Thank you so much.
Rutland Radio.
Brian Allen Cumming, and I'm a Chelsea pensioner.
Now, whenever I think Chelsea pensions, I always think of the armistice celebrations, the commemorations on that Saturday night, where you see a long line of Chelsea pensioners walking down the Royal Albert Hall. That's an honour, presumably, that you get as part of that.
It is indeed, yes. Once the notice goes up on the web, it's always well oversubscribed. Everybody wants to do it. So before we actually go to the Albert Hall, we practice coming down the steps in our living accommodation. And what you don't realise is that ours are a very gentle slope. When you get to the Albert Hall, on the top step, it's like looking down the side of a cliff. But it's a wonderful experience, wonderful. And you set off down there with the Garrison Sergeant Major bellowing in the back of your neck. You walk off down the steps, across the floor and up the other side. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And then finish it off by marching down Whitehall.
Now, tell us about the Royal Chelsea Hospital. There's around 300 who are actually there within it.
It was founded by Charles II in 1660 when he came back on the throne. He then wanted somewhere for his army vets to live. So he engaged Sir Christopher Wren, the architect, to draw up plans, and upon those plans were built the buildings in which we live now. It was started in 1682, completed 10 years later. And there are 300 of us ex-army. We don't take RAF or Royal Navy. Well, that being said, you could have joined either one of those services and left for whatever reason, then decided to do something infinitely better and become a soldier. You can then apply to become a Chelsea pensioner. We've now got 15 ladies with us, which is great. The very first girl to come in was in 1717, a girl called Hannah Snell, who joined the Navy as a midshipman. She didn't like it, so she deserted. She then joined the Army. She was injured at Pondicherry and was discharged, and then many years later she was found wandering the streets dressed as a man. She was brought into the hospital, and she stayed with us for 3 years, I think it was. It wasn't until she was being buried and prepared for a funeral that discovered she was a woman. What a chance she had, wasn't she? One woman in there with all 300 randy old soldiers.
Tell us about your military career. You served for well over 30 years.
I joined the Royal Corps of Signals in 1950, and within 2 months I was heading off for Korea. We got as far as Egypt, and that's when they were kicking King Farouk out. So I was taken off there. From there I went off to Cyprus and then spent a lot of time in the Middle East and then across into the Far East, and then eventually back on the continent, Germany and Holland and places, until I retired in 1983 when I came back to my hometown in Plymouth.
And this is your first time in Rutland? I know you've enjoyed...
No, it isn't.
Right.
I gave a talk about the Royal Hospital at Huffington, just down the road, isn't it?
At Uppingham, yeah.
Yeah, and after I gave the talk, I was given a tour of the lake, and then went up to Oakham Castle. And I was fascinated when I wore all those horseshoes. I'd like to see the size of the horse, the big one on the wall. So this is the second time I've been up here, and now today, this is great. Really is. I've come home up here. Yeah.
And I know you were a keen fly fisherman as well, actually, so there's always the opportunity up at Rutland Water.
That's right, yes. I've been at the hospital now for 9 years, and the only thing I really miss is my fly fishing. But I've got a damn great river at the bottom of the garden, haven't I? But the only thing you could catch there is a Wakefield trolley and a body, perhaps. So I do miss that. I might find some time to come up here and try it on the lake.
Now, you're giving a talk at the Rutland County Museum tomorrow about the hospital, about your military career as well. It's absolutely free for anyone to come along at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I do these talks by invitation. In fact, I kept a record of the last 4 years. I don't know how many counties I've been to, but I've travelled 34,000 miles giving these talks. As far away as Portugal. I was in Portugal 2 weeks ago. So yes, it's great. I get people, the general public don't know a great deal about us. They know more about the yeoman warders, the beefeaters, than they do us. So this gives me a chance to go out and tell the public what it's like to be a Chelsea pensioner, and it's wonderful.
And because you were dressed as you are in red, I understand you were at the Jackson Stops last night. You're staying at Barnsdale Lodge. You're seeing a lot of the area whilst you're here, and the reception's been extremely warm.
Absolutely, it really is. Yeah, and it's scarlet. It's not red. Somebody said to me the other day, "Why does the British Army wear red?" I said, "Well, if you get shot, the blood doesn't show." That's why the French wear brown trousers. I don't know whether you knew that.
I didn't, I must admit, no.
I'd better cut that out.
Yeah, so it might be best. Tell us about your engagements whilst you're here. You've just unveiled the Tommy statue here at the County Council offices.
Yes, yeah. And later on I'm going to the school at Mill Field, and then tomorrow giving a talk in the museum, and being lauded around all over the place, taken for good meals. It's really good.
And you're a guest at the military breakfast in the morning as well at the Grange
That's
Store,
right.
I know.
Yes, yeah. That's coincidental because 3 months ago I was down in Cornwall launching a breakfast club in Parr. Yes, it's a good thing it's being spread all over the country. It's really good.
And the 100 years commemoration of the end of World War One, the unified nature of the country in uncertain times, it's really brought the country together in so many ways.
It has. Well, I've just come back from Portugal, and at the remembrance service there were 13 ambassadors, and the German ambassador was there for the first time, and it was really good to see how well he was looked after and joined in with everything. He elected not to lay a wreath, but he laid a bouquet of flowers and read a lesson in German. And it was good to see that there was this togetherness happening all the time now.
Ryan Cumming, thank you very much for joining us on Rutland Radio, and thank you for coming to England's smallest county. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Highlights from the past 7 days, the Rutland Radio podcast.
My name's Richard Foster. I'm a counsellor and lead member for Children's Services, but also, importantly, Armed Forces Champion.
Now, today has seen, I suppose, the council coming together to pay their respects, really, World War One, 100-year commemoration.
Absolutely right, and it was really heartwarming to see the generosity of staff that contributed towards Tommy, and also I've got to pay tribute to the folk at the Grange Store, the Veterans Breakfasts, who again have played a huge part in making sure that we had the funds to commemorate the 100 years since the First World War by putting Tommy on our council building.
So this was all fundraised by employees of the council actually painting poppy rocks, making poppies, doing all sorts of fundraising in the lead up, and then obviously the grain stores 5p from every pint of their World War I commemorative ale as well.
Absolutely, and masterminded by Melissa Cheeseman, who did a brilliant job in bringing it all together. Yeah,
and Rutland's I suppose contribution to the remembrance has been utterly enormous. I don't think anyone will ever forget it.
Particularly the castle and the field of poppies. It was absolutely remarkable for a small place like us to have 10,000 poppies there was just, well, it very emotional. When I was in the Royal Air Force, I lost 50 friends, either through enemy action or through air accidents and other such things. And to see the way that the general public react now to remember and to commemorate the sacrifice is very moving on a personal level. But I also think it pays tribute to the people of Rutland and the kind of people they are, very selfless and small but beautifully marked.
Rutland Radio.
John Edwards.
And your position with the group?
Well, I'm sort of I head it, but John Westcombe here does all the bookwork, John, don't you?
I do some of it to help John and keep in touch with the RAF Wittering people, who are very, very helpful. And
I also...
This is our 9th year.
9th year, isn't it?
For lunch. And but John had this lovely bus made of Johnny Johnson, this fighter pilot ace of the Second War, and he so we have this on the table. We have a little lunch at Wittering in memory of Johnny Johnson. So this is what we do, don't we?
Good, yeah.
And
can you tell me a bit more about Johnny Johnson?
Well, he was born in Mount Sorrel in Leicestershire, and he died at Wormsall near Buxton. And he was a great man. He used to come down to Wolfots Airfield when it was in, functioning. And I know one or two of the farmers up there, and we always used to get grouped together before we disbanded and went through the wood. And then he used to take prize spot in, with his gun to shoot the pheasants as they were driven out the woodland. I think, he loved the shooting, the pilot.
So did you go shooting together?
Well, no, I didn't. We used to organise it and go beating with them. And then we used to meet at Captain Haywood's at Oakham many times. That was a lovely place to go. And then,
he was an exceptional pilot.
Always an exceptional pilot.
And his record in the war, he was one of the top pilots.
Aces, wasn't he, John?
Yeah, and had a tremendous amount of success. And so when he retired, he had all these medals, DSOs, DFCs, and so on. And he retired as an Air Vice Marshal, I think.
Yeah, he was an Air Vice Marshal.
So he had a very spectacular career in the RAF, and a very brave man.
Well, he also had a building company, didn't he? The Wolves Building
his
Company.
Brother did.
His brother did. He was at Burton Latimer, wasn't it? Or Burton Joyce.
They did a lot of work in Rutland.
Yes, a lot of work in fact, some houses in Uffington here are built by him.
Okay.
Yeah, down the lane, weren't they?
Oh.
So he was all round good man.
So why do you think it's special to keep the society going?
He's someone special. He shot 38 Germans plus a few more down in World War II, and he was a great man, and we just like to keep his name going, alive. Not these aces to disappear. We'd hate that. And I was absolutely drawn on the man, and I had this bust done of him, and if I'd known now what I know about all the medals he's got, I would have had it done in bronze. It was that important to me. It's done in aluminium, but it's just him, and it looks just like he's even got a chip out of his tooth missing, which the lady got absolute dead on. Yeah. It was quite quite a gathering when we had the bus sorted out. We came down Casset Lane to my home, and we had several people down there to come in when the lady brought the bus down from Hatfield in Hertfordshire. She did a lot of work for Coningsby, RAF Coningsby. Yeah.
So did you know Johnny, or did you find out about him and thought he was really special?
I've read a lot about him, and we meet him many times. He used to tell me all the missions he used to do and go on, and now, terrific man.
So you're going to RAF Wittering?
We're going to RAF Wittering to have this lunch, and then Gary Waterfall, he got this the group to go around this museum up there, which is very considerate of him, I thought. Yeah.
Well, you all have a wonderful day.
I think so.
And thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming, my dear.
Well, that's it for this week's Rutland Radio podcast. If you have any comments, you can email us via the website, rutlandradio.co.uk, and we'll have a new version on our website from Monday.
This is a download from Rutland Radio. For more information, go to rutlandradio.co.uk. This is a download from Rutland Radio.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the Rutland Radio podcast from rutlandradio.co.uk. This is where you can hear the best bits from the last week.
I'm Maria Allen and I'm 11 years old.
And you nearly switched on the Christmas lights. You were next in line.
Yeah, I was next in line.
Tell us what you did, what you've been doing recently.
I was swimming 22 miles for Aspire, and I've raised over £400, so I'm really proud of myself.
How long's it taken you to actually swim 22 miles?
I think it took me 8 weeks. Yeah, it took us 8 weeks. Me and my mum did it. We did it together in the pool. My mum finished first and I finished the day after, so yeah.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. So tell us about the charity then that you're raising money for.
I'm raising charity for Aspire Channel Swim. It's a charity that supports people with spinal cord injuries.
So how come you decided to raise money for that one then?
It's because we were at the swimming pool and we saw this leaflet, and then we picked up the leaflet and we thought, you know what, let's go and give it a go. It's my first ever charity swim.
First ever charity swim, and you managed 22 miles.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I thought it was impossible, but I knew I could do it in the end.
Francis.
And how old are you?
5. Jennifer. And I am 10.
And your dad doesn't need to tell us how old he is, but what's your name?
Dan.
This year has just been a very difficult year for you.
Yeah, it's been hard for all of us, really. But these two have been amazing.
And how did you feel when they got the call, actually, they were going to be doing this?
I'm really proud of them, to be honest. It's brilliant.
How are you feeling now as we're just about to turn on the lights?
Excited.
Yeah?
Super.
What do you have to do then?
Push it down.
Push it down, absolutely. So, have you asked the big man what you might like for Christmas yet?
No.
You know, any idea what you'd like for Christmas?
Don't know.
Don't know yet. Plenty of time. Well, at least this is an amazing Christmas present, though, isn't it? Well done. Well done. I'm sure it'll all go perfectly smoothly. All you have to do, as you say, is push it down. Yeah?
The weekly Rutland Radio podcast.
It's Rutland Radio Breakfast Time. I'm Rob Pisani. It is, of course, nearly Christmas, and it is definitely Panto time.
Oh, no, it isn't!
Yeah, I got them to do that specially. It is tomorrow's Dream Performers production of Snow White in just a couple of weekends at the Stamford Corn Exchange. I've got Karen Parker from the shows put it all together, along with Melody, who is Snow White. Now, Karen, tell us about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because actually sometimes local productions don't have enough for 7. You have got 7, haven't you?
Oh yes, I've definitely got 7. One of my dwarfs is actually a gold medalist in the dwarf games, so we've got somebody famous in it.
Wow, that's quite kind of exciting. It is a traditional show, and I suppose the thing is just, making it fresh, and you put local jokes in it and stuff like that.
Oh yes, all around sort of like the town we've got some good jokes. I don't want to share them yet.
Melody, tell us Snow White, top part. How do you feel doing that? Is this your first lead role?
No, I've been doing pantomime since I was about 6, and I was Cinderella for 2 years and Aladdin for 1.
So you get to wear the dresses and the trousers.
Yeah,
fabulous stuff. Excellent. So how many people have you got taking part, Karen?
We've got about 50 local people in the cast. There's something for everyone. We've got some brilliant singers and dancers and actors and actresses, yes.
Now, your times, they're all matinees of a sort. Early and late afternoon.
Yes, because we've got sort of like all ages in our cast. Yes, we're doing a 1:30 p.m. on the Saturday, the 15th of December, and a 4 p.m. as well on the 15th. And then on the Sunday, we're just doing the one show at 2 o'clock.
Now, if you were in the Stamford Christmas market and the festival just 8 days ago, you would have actually seen some of you actually in character, as you will be on the stage, so people will no doubt recognise that. With so many pantos going on, obviously Snow White is the one to see in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, it's a fun, festive pantomime, and come and have a good old shout and sing along.
And how much are tickets and whereabouts from?
The tickets start from £8.50. We've tried to keep the cost down because I know it's an expensive time of year.
And from the Corn Exchange box office?
Yes, Stamford Corn Exchange at Broad Street.
Excellent. That's tomorrow's Dream performers, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is happening in just a couple of weekends' time on the 15th and 16th of December. Thank you very much for coming in. Just before you go, something that I'd like you to maybe be involved with. Sleeps to Santa.
Oh, we'd love to.
I know you love a bit of singing.
Oh,
absolutely.
yes, we do.
Rutland Radio.
Hello.
Hello, John. It's Rob from Rutland Radio. Thanks for chatting about this.
That's all right, mate.
When did you first put baubles in your beard, and how many have you got?
I've got about 9 in my beard. I got them a couple of weeks ago. I saw them last year and I thought, well, it'll be a bit of fun for the customers and the kids at work.
Were you at the Stamford Christmas Festival as well?
I wasn't, unfortunately. I was working.
Oh, right, I just wondered, because there's someone else who's also got baubles in their beard. So is it quite easy to attach them and get them in?
Yeah, they're just like tiny little pegs that clip on. They don't weigh anything at all. I wore them all day Saturday, all day Sunday last week, and I'll be wearing them all day today.
And it doesn't kind of, put a strain on your chin or anything, they're not too heavy?
No, they're just hollow little plastic balls that are coloured like baubles.
And you take them out when you sleep?
I have to take them out when I sleep, yeah,
Yes.
Otherwise the other half gets upset.
I understand. John, thank you very much for joining us on Rutland Radio. Merry Christmas. So people can see you at home base then. You're the man with the baubles and his beard. You're unique to home base in Stamford.
I am unique to home base in Stamford, yeah.
Rutland Radio's best bits on the podcast.
It's Rutland Radio at breakfast time. I'm Rob Pisani. We are well into December, which means it's nearly time for our final Christmas shopping event. It's late night in Oakham this Monday coming. Carolyn Acton-Reid is the person who runs round on the night with the shiniest high-vis and the busiest job as well. Would that be right?
I think you are right, Rob. Yeah, it's going to be quite hectic as usual, but I am looking forward to it.
It is always a fabulous night, isn't it?
It
and
is,
we're going to be back on the stage outside Barclays, which will be brilliant to be there. Tell us some of the things that we've got actually on our stage.
You've got a couple of schools singing, and you've got a choir, and you've got Funked Up Band playing from 8 till 9 to finish the event. A couple of dance groups as well, so there's lots going on.
Excellent. So that will be the focal point as far as we're concerned. But, the thing with working the event, you don't get to see half the things, but there is so much, isn't there? From Victoria Hall through to the marketplace, through to all the shops.
There is, and this year we've got something special. We're having a Santa's Grotto in Knights Yard, which is just off Jail Street, for those that don't know where it is. We're going to have, obviously, Father Christmas there. Kids are very welcome to post their letter to Father Christmas, and if they include a stamped address envelope, they will get a personalised reply from him too.
So bring your letter along on the night. You can chat to the man himself and you'll get a reply
You'll
before
get a personalised
Christmas.
reply before Christmas.
How lovely is that?
Yeah.
And lots of stalls
Yeah,
as
we've
usual.
got stalls as usual on the High Street and Marketplace, a couple on Jail Street too, a few on Mill Street as well, and we're having a donkey on Mill Street for the children and adults to pet and look at, so that'll be nice and take photographs with.
Now, this is all free for people to obviously come along to.
Yeah, all free. Lots going on. Most of the shops are opening. A lot of them are providing free samples of like mulled wine, mince pies, etc. Building Society, Santander, they're having a band play outside there. So they're all getting involved, which is really good news. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So a week next Monday, 4 p.m. It runs until 9. It's Oakham Late Night Shopping. Carolyn Acton-Reid, thanks for joining us on Rutland Radio.
Thank you very much.
Highlights from the past 7 days. The Rutland Radio Podcast.
It's Rutland Radio at breakfast time. I'm Rob Pisani. It is getting very, very close now. And I'm not talking about the 25th. I'm talking about this Sunday, the Stamford Santa Fun Run. John Sutcliffe from the Rotary Club of Stamford Burley is with us this morning. John, we must start with your impressive numbers this year.
Morning, Rob. Our numbers are very good this year. We've got 1,100 already registered. That's compared with a normal 800, 900 that we have in a year. So we're expecting a record number this year.
Weather on Sunday, not quite as cold and certainly not as snowy as last year.
No forecast is talking about the snowstorm we had last year. But to be fair, the show must go on, and it did go on, and some 500 people had a really great time in the snow, and the run was completed.
Sunday is the big day itself. Now, it all kicks off at 11, but I know you'd like people to get there a little bit earlier just to make sure that everyone's registered, ready, got their race number on.
That's absolutely right. We're open for business effectively from 10 o'clock. The car park entrance is off the Barnack Road, the station gate entrance to the park. There'll be well signposted, there'll be well marshalled. We've got car parking for 700 cars if we need it, and we would like people to be in as soon as they can after 10 o'clock, just so that they get themselves organised. Some people will still be turning up to enter on the day, which they're very welcome to do. Other people will be turning up just to collect their suits. The show starts really kicking off at about 10:30 with some children singing. Then at 11:15, the big warm-up takes place, with the race starting itself at 11:30.
Yeah, it's the Wildcats who I know are with you again this year. And talking of suit collection, actually, you can still collect it in advance if you go to the website and sign up.
Yep, that's right. In fact, entry is still available, with suit collection still available at Christchurch in Stamford, and it's on Friday and Saturday morning up till 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Excellent stuff. And also, this is a fun run. It's also for charities as well, some charities that you support.
That's correct. Primarily the fun run was designed to enable people to run for their own charities by raising their own sponsorship. But increasingly we found that people want some guidance as to, well, what causes you think in Rotary? And this year we've suggested 3 causes. There's Phoebe Research, there's Thorpe Hall, which is obviously the big Sue Ryder Centre in Peterborough, and also the charity Mind, and which has part of it is based in Stamford, called Mindspace. Those are our 3 main charities.
And registration is still competitive, put it that way, in terms of the price for what you get, and you get the suit to take away as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We say the suit is free, but obviously it's covered off in the entry price. Kids' entry is £7, and the adult entry is £14.
So that's at Burley Park this Sunday, the Stamford Santa Fun Run, and you just basically go to stamfordsantafunrun.co.uk to find out all the details. It's that simple.
It's stamfordsantafunrun.com.
John, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you on Sunday. And how does it feel that you've actually got such a big number? Is that the biggest number actually that have ever run for you?
It will be. Today we should actually go past the biggest number we've ever had.
And that must, for an event that's been running,
12 years.
I was going to say, I thought it was the 11th last year.
No, we're absolutely delighted, as you can imagine. It's nice to break records, and it's been partly enabled because we've got more active on the marketing, used social media, particularly Facebook this year for the first time, distributed 50,000 leaflets. So it's all about making people aware of it. And that's been enabled also because we've had an awful lot of sponsors this year. Our sponsorship up from local businesses has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, that's it for this week's Rutland Radio podcast. If you have any comments, you can email us via the website, rutlandradio.co.uk, and we'll have a new version on our website from Monday.
This is a download from Rutland Radio. For more information, go to rutlandradio.co.uk.